Okay, Jay, I'm on the fly. We did our muskie popper. We're going to do our muskie diver now. So rather than tying the whole thing, the tail section on this fly is exactly like we did the last one. Again, we're using the curly feathers. This curly stuff that gives it the bulk that's inside there. That makes all the feathers expand. Gives it some thickness. I have some orange feathers. Again, use whatever color, whatever you like. And then we have some what I call like schlappen hackles. So we throw them in. They would be add the bulk here in the back. And of course, this fly we have to do a little different than we did the last one because we have a diver. This one here, we just flip that double barrel, and we're going to use it as a diver. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add brushes. This is the neat part about this. If you haven't seen my brush videos, you know how I make these things. This is an EP brush. It's EP fiber and flash. That's all I use in that. Oh, about 1.5 inches fibers, you know, off the side. So that's what we're using for this. This is going to give us the first amount of bulk that we're going to use behind this. Tie that in really well. And we're going to take a few wraps of this. So come around. And I should have I'm going to actually grab that right here and grab my brush. This brush is extremely useful for this. Is when you come around, you just pull some of these fibers back. Now you can reach in there and grab them back. But you want to get we want to get a couple good turns of this stuff. Doesn't have to be crazy. We just got to get enough. And again, never hurts to remember. You can't hurt this fly. Just comb it out and do what you got to do. If something falls apart now, it sure as hell ain't gonna last when you catch a muskie. So just get it done. You know. That should be good. I'm going to tie this off now. Okay, and the brush, if you got to see my brush videos if you don't know anything about the brush. If you're seeing a brush for the first time, go back and research. Check out my brush videos. In fact, I'm going to be doing some shortly again this year for the you always come up with new methods and everything, so I'm going to be doing some this year for one of my pliers while I'm at it. I'm going to be doing again some brush videos this year because you just learn new techniques. By the way, that head's not secured. If you see it swinging around there, that's just sitting there, and we don't secure that beforehand like we had the popper. I guess I should have mentioned that. Okay, again, start right at the base of the hook. We're going to work our way right around, and we're going to comb this out nicely, just like that. Take my scissors, which should always be very close or in your hand, and we're going to cut out a good little snippet right around the hook because I don't want any of that fiber interfering ever with the hook. So you see what we did there? Just clean that up, okay? Now just remember, this whole deal does not have to be crazy. That's it. Now we go with our next material. Next material, we're going to have a little bit of a bigger flash. Got a little bit of EP fiber in. Got a little bit of flash to it. Going to add that in. Going to tie that in as our next. Take notice they're longer. The fibers are longer. We're going to fold them fibers towards our pattern. Take a couple wraps of that. And again, just pull the fibers in towards the center. Now, if you get these picks of this finger in there, that's going to make a nice little collar. And you'll see we'll pull that whole thing out and get that done just the way it's supposed to be. Again, we're tying off a wire in here. See how easy that is? You tie off the wire. Now you can reach in, slide down with your scissors, cut out that wire, and again, wrap back a little bit, comb out your collar, And this collar goes a little bit beyond. So now look at that fly. See, it's starting to look really nice. Look how neat that thing's looking. Okay, and again, push that front. Hold this all together, tie that back. We got one more that I want to put on. And this is a long flash fly. So it's basically just a flash. I'm going to snip this thing pretty much in the middle. That's pretty much the way I like to store them. That way I have wire on both sides to work from. I tie it in from the middle, from the longest lengths. And I'm probably just going to need like a wrap and a half or something of that. Maybe just one wrap would do it of this stuff. And again, we're going to tie that in very far up into the head, or into that bulk pattern. And we're just going to come around, slowly training this material back. Okay, and we got one wrap. There was one full wrap, and I'm coming back up to the top. So I don't know if you want to call that 1.5 or 2 wraps or whatever you want to call it. I'm just calling it, that's what I'm doing. Because I'm looking at the fly, and that's all I need. I don't need more than that. So I'm going to reach in here with the scissors. I'm going to get rid of this. Again, this is just a flat. Like I said, watch my videos with my brush machine and how I do that. Again, get this thing, pull that thing out of the way. I already glued the eyes on this. It was just easier, and I'm doing this so that I don't have to do all this tying in a video, because you've already seen how to tie the tail in. If you want to refer to how to tie this tail, look at the popper fly. This is the JM Diver popper. So this thing here, we're put the popper head the opposite way because we're going to push it down like a diver. Again, hand whip finish, something that if you don't know, you should know. Can't live in fly tying without being able to throw a hand whip finish, especially if you're dealing with big flies. Sometimes your hands are tied up and you don't have enough room to grab a tool. And that thing's going to be pushed right back like that, okay? That's the way it's going to end up. So, for now, we keep it pulled back over top of the head. We're going to go at it, and this just shows you how to finish this fly. So, again, before we do all that, I want to come through and I want to be... Oh, I lost some here. Okay. Lost a little piece of the ice here. Unbelievable. Okay, back in business. Anyway, we're going to start here with this. We're going to brush this out the whole way around. And you see we got some really good flash in there. And we're going to flip this upside down. And I am going to, again, get rid of that, trim out that. I just don't want anything to interfere with that hook set, okay? So whatever we do, and whatever, if there's a little bit around it, it's not a big deal, but I want the majority of it away from that hook set. I want a clean looking fly. Again, pull that towards the nose. We're going to reach in here and we are going to completely super glue gel. And we're going to go right out around that. Get it the whole way around that shank, right at the tip. Now we're just going to grab our popper here and push it back. What you want to do is grab, I got this braid, see, I mean this floss. There's like 3-4 different lengths of floss that are out of this. It creates a lot of bulk. And that's what I use this thing for. So I'm going to come front, come back. Okay, now that's pretty much done. I could cut this off tight. Now I'm going to push this back into the glue. And watch this. I'm going to build up a bulkhead here. That's absolutely beautiful. See this taper coming? Check that out. There we go. Now that pushes that head back and sets it into the thing. I'm looking now that I have glue on it that I want to get it nice and square, just like that. Let me turn this a little bit. There we go. Get a little bit better for you. Get the Get the pieces up there so we can see what we got going on. Okay, that's that. That's pretty much the fly that I'm looking for. Pull that baby back. Again, you can see that thing spinning. Unbelievable. Now let it come rest over the top. Whip finish this off. Now remember, this is heavy. It got 3 strands. Or 4 strands of floss. Pull that down. Snip that baby off. Nice and clean. We're going to come in with the bonding. I'm going to look at this thing first. I'm going to make sure I want that thing turned a little bit like that. Make sure my fly is straight up and down. Now that's exactly where I want it. Now we're going to come in with the bondic. That goes right up against the rubber, and it's completely covering everything between the foam, and the stainless steel eye, everything. Okay? So you look at that and you can see that's nice and wet and good to go. Make sure everything's nice the way you want it, and then we're going to hit that with the light. Get that thing in position here, and we're going to cure that. And that's a nice part about this fly. There's no removing, no garbage glue, nothing like that. How do we fish this fly? That would probably be the next question. How would you fish this fly? Fly has pretty much the same amount of weight as the other fly, which is none. I mean, it's a very lightweight fly. You still want to throw it on at least a 7, 8, 9 weight, something like that, because of the size of it and wind resistance, depending on the day. But what we're going to do here is, then is we're going to take this fly, turn it upside down, make sure we have nothing that could interfere with the barb of the hook. And that's it. Very lightweight fly. Again, the thing will absolutely do the hoochie coochie in the water. Everything is made to have bulk. If you look at the bottom side, the way you fish this fly, we're going to throw this out on like a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, and whatever. It could be down to 25-pound. That really doesn't matter. The trick is, 4 foot away from this fly, I want a little split shot. Okay, so you throw it out. This thing is naturally going to float on top of the water. Okay? The line goes to your split shot that's 4 foot down. That'll start sinking. As soon as you give a heavy strip, this will immediately go down and follow the split shot and go through the water, and then as soon as you stop it, that thing's going to come right back up to the top like this. And then you just continue that method, so you get this as you strip. In current, you could keep it moving fast, and it's a very deadly muskie killer. I don't even know what to say besides go ahead out, fish it, tie it. If you don't know anything about brushes and the brushes that I make, watch my brush videos. But that's it. This will be the JM Muskie Popper Diver. And it's top water muskies fishing. Doesn't get much better than that. Especially when they're smashing the top. JM on the fly, I'm out of here.